If you want to have more, you have to become more. These are the words by Jim Rohn, a name synonymous with personal development and success philosophy. This simple yet profound statement is the cornerstone of all financial philosophy that has guided millions towards a richer, more fulfilling life. Let me repeat it again. If you want to have more, you have to become more. For those who may not know, Jim Rohn was a master motivator and entrepreneur and a mentor to some of today's most successful leaders. His teachings weren't just about get-rich-quick schemes. It was about fundamental principles that, when applied consistently, can lead to an extraordinary financial and personal success. I've spent years studying Jim Rohn's work, dissecting his seminars, and poring over his books. And in this video, I've distilled his most powerful advice on how to get rich, not just in terms of money, but in all aspects of life. So if you're ready to transform your financial future by transforming yourself, let's begin. So section 1, the foundation, your personal philosophy. Before we even talk about money, strategies, or investments, Jim Rohn would direct us to the very bedrock of our lives, our personal philosophy. He believed that your personal philosophy is the major factor in how your life works out. It's like the rudder of a ship. A small adjustment can change your entire destination. What is personal philosophy? It's a collection of everything you know, the decisions you make on how to live, on how you process the world around you. It's what you believe about success, about money, about challenges, and about yourself. Rohn famously urged, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Why? Because your income, your wealth, and your happiness, they rarely exceed your personal development. If you have a philosophy that leans towards blaming circumstances, avoiding responsibility, or seeking shortcuts, your financial life will likely reflect that. Conversely, if your philosophy embraces learning, growth, discipline, and value creation, you set the stage for abundance. Think about it. How do you view challenges? As roadblocks or as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser? How do you view money? As something scarce and hard to get, or as a natural byproduct of the value you create? Your philosophy dictates your daily choices and habits. And these small, seemingly insignificant choices compound over time, create your results. Do you choose to read a book that expands your mind, or watch another hour of mindless entertainment? Do you choose to save a portion of your income or spend it all? These are philosophical choices. So, to get rich, Jim Rohn's advice starts here. Develop a powerful, positive, and growth-oriented personal philosophy. Actively design it. Question your limiting beliefs. Decide what principles will guide your financial journey. Because as Jim said, the same wind blows on us all. It is the set of the sail, not the blowing of the wind, that determines the direction. So your philosophy is how you set your sail. Section 2. The power of personal development and self-education. Building directly on the importance of philosophy is Rohn's unwavering emphasis on personal development and specifically self-education. He delivered one of the most quoted lines in success literature. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. See, what did he mean by this? Formal education gives you a foundation, a job, a way to earn an income. But self-education, the deliberate ongoing pursuit of knowledge, skills, and wisdom beyond the classroom is what empowers you to create wealth, an extraordinary kind of wealth. The marketplace pays for value. And how do you become more valuable? Through continuous personal development. This means dedicating yourself to lifelong learning. Read books, not just any books, but books that challenge your thinking, teach you new skills, and expose you to successful ideas. Rohn himself was an avid reader. He'd say, miss a meal if you have to, but don't miss a book. Study success. If you want to be wealthy, study wealthy people. Not just their bank accounts, but their habits, their mindset, their discipline, their philosophies. Learn from their mistakes and model their success. What skills should you develop then? Rohn often spoke about improving your communication skills, your ability to articulate your ideas, to persuade, to inspire. He emphasized leadership skills, learning how to manage yourself first, then how to influence and guide others, and critically developing financial literacy, understanding how money works, how to earn it, keep it, and how to grow it. Personal development isn't a one-time event, it's a lifelong commitment. It's about asking yourself every day, how can I become a little better, a little wiser, a little more skilled? And as you become more, you can attract more, achieve more, and ultimately earn more. The journey to wealth is intrinsically linked to the journey of becoming a better version of yourself. Section 3. An unwavering force of discipline. Once you have a sound philosophy and a commitment to personal development, the next ingredient, according to Rohn, is discipline. He thought that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. Without discipline, even the best intentions and a wealth of knowledge will fall short. Many people associate discipline with punishment or drudgery, but Rohn framed it differently. He saw discipline as a choice, the choice to do what's necessary rather than what's easy. He said, we must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs an ounce, while regret weighs a ton. How does discipline relate to getting rich? Well, it's all about the small, consistent actions practiced every single day. It's the discipline to save and invest a portion of every paycheck, no matter how small. It's the discipline to stick to your budget. It's the discipline to continue learning and growing even when you don't feel like it. It's the discipline to show up and do the work required to build your business or advance your career. Day in and day out. These small disciplines, seemingly insignificant on their own, compound over time to create massive results. Think of it like building a great wall. Each brick laid, each day of labor contributes to the final formidable structure. Rohn would say that success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, while failure is simply a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. It's the daily practice that makes the difference. So ask yourself, what are the simple disciplines I can implement today that will move me closer to my financial goals? It might be tracking your expenses, reading a 30-minute book about finance, making one extra sales call, or dedicating an hour to developing a new skill. Start small. be consistent, and let the power of discipline build your bridge to wealth. Section 4. Setting clear and compelling goals. If discipline is the bridge, then goals, in Jim Rohn's view, are the destination. Without a clear destination, how can you even begin to build the bridge? Rohn believed that goal setting wasn't just a good idea. It was absolutely essential for achieving anything significant in life, including wealth. He'd often say, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you will fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Setting goals is the process of designing your own life plan. What kind of goals? Rohn advocated for goals that are clearly defined, written down, and reviewed regularly. Don't just say, I want to be rich. How rich? By when? What does rich specifically look like to you? Is it a certain net worth? A specific annual income? Financial independence? Be specific. Write your goals down. There is a certain power in translating a thought into written words. It makes it more real, more tangible, and you have to review your goals frequently, daily if possible. This keeps them on the top of your mind and reinforces your commitment. But it's not just about the what, it's also about the why. Rohn thought that the reasons behind your goals are often more powerful than the goals themselves. Why do you want to be wealthy? Is it for the freedom, for security, to provide for your family, to make a difference in the world? A strong why will fuel your motivation and discipline when challenges arise. Think long term. What's your grand vision for your financial life in 5, 10, 20 years? Then break that down into shorter term objectives, annual, monthly, and even weekly goals that act as stepping stones towards your larger vision. This makes the journey manageable and allows you to track your progress. Setting goals gives your efforts direction. It allows you to focus your energy and resources effectively. Without goals, you might be working hard, but are you working hard on the right things? That's the question. Goals provide that clarity. So take the time to think deeply about what you want to achieve financially. Write it down, make it compelling, and let it guide your daily actions. Section 5. The engine of action and consistent activity. With a strong philosophy, a commitment to growth, disciplined habits, and clear goals, the next step is the one that brings it all to life: action. Jim Rohn was a firm believer that all the knowledge and planning in the world are useless without consistent, focused activity. He stated, "The few who do are the envy of the many who only watch." So to get rich, you must be a doer. You must translate your intentions and plans into tangible efforts. Rohn often spoke about the law of averages. While you can't control every outcome, you can control your activity. If you make more sales calls, you'll eventually make more sales. If you create more valuable content, you will eventually attract a larger audience. If you try more business ideas, you will increase your chances of finding the one that succeeds. Consistent activity tilts the odds in your favor. It's not about sporadic bursts of intense effort. It looks cool, but you have to rather be steady, persistent in application of fundamentals. What are the key activities in your chosen field or business that produce results? Identify them and then commit to performing them consistently. even when you don't see immediate rewards. Success is often the natural consequence of this unwavering application. One of the biggest enemies of action is procrastination, that temptation to put things off, to wait for the perfect time or perfect conditions. Rohn would tell you that the perfect time is now. Don't wait for inspiration to strike. Create it through action. Often motivation follows action, not the other way around. Overcoming inertia and that initial resistance to getting started is key. Break big tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on starting, even if it's just for a few minutes. Momentum builds once you begin. Remember, your financial goals won't achieve themselves. You are the engine. Your consistent, purposeful activity is the fuel that will drive you towards the wealth you desire. So ask yourself daily, what actions can I take today, no matter how small, that align with my financial goals, and then do them. Section 6. Mastering your finances the wrong way. Now, let's talk directly about money. Jim Rohn provided simple yet profoundly effective advice on how to manage and grow your finances. His approach wasn't about complex financial instruments, but about sound, timeless principles. One of his most well-known teachings is often summarized as the 70-30 rule, though he presented variations. The core idea is to not spend everything you earn. He'd suggest living on a portion of your income, say 70%, and then wisely allocating the rest. For example, 10% for active capital, investments, and business ventures, 10% for passive capital, savings, long-term investments, and 10% for giving or charity. The percentages can be adjusted, but the principle is vital. Pay yourself first by allocating a portion of your income towards wealth creation before you spend it all. This requires the discipline of living below your means. It's not about deprivation, but about making conscious choices. As Rohn said, if you live on 100% of your income, you're heading for disaster. The power of saving and investing consistently, even small amounts, cannot be overstated. This harnesses the magic of compound interest, where your money starts earning money and then that money earns more money. It's a slow build initially, but over time it can lead to substantial wealth. Rohn also taught about having the right attitude towards money. It's not to be worshipped, nor is it the root of all evil. Money is a medium of exchange, a tool. He believed that money is usually attracted, not pursued. By becoming a more valuable, disciplined, and resourceful person, you naturally attract more financial opportunities and rewards. Learn to manage what you have. Rohn often said that if you can't manage a little, you won't be given a lot to manage. Start practicing good financial habits now, regardless of your current income level. Track your spending, create a budget, save consistently, and educate yourself about investing. These are the skills and habits that build fortunes. Don't just work for your money. Learn to make your money work for you. Section 7. The law of sowing and reaping and providing value. A fundamental principle that underpins all of Jim Rohn's teachings, especially concerning wealth, is the timeless law of sowing and reaping. Simply put, you get back what you put out. Or as he often phrased it, whatever you sow, that is what you will reap. If you want to reap financial abundance, you must first sow seeds of value, effort, and service. You can't expect a harvest if you haven't planted, cultivated, or nurtured your crop. In the context of wealth, this means focusing on providing exceptional value to the marketplace. What problems can you solve for others? What needs can you meet? How can you serve your clients, customers, or employer in a way that exceeds expectations? The more value you provide, the more you will be compensated. Rohn often used the analogy of the seasons of life. There are times for planting, like learning, working hard, taking risks. But there are also times for cultivating, like nurturing your projects, relationships, and skills. And there are times for harvesting, reaping the rewards. You can't skip the planting and cultivating seasons and expect a bountiful harvest. Many people want the harvest without putting in the upfront work. This also requires patience and persistence. Seeds don't just sprout overnight, and crops won't mature in a week. There is a gestation period for success. You must be willing to put in the consistent effort day after day, even when the results aren't immediately visible. You have to trust the process. So if you want to get rich, ask yourself, what value am I sowing into the world? Am I consistently planting the seeds that will lead to the financial harvest I desire? Focus on giving, serving, and creating value, and the reaping will take care of itself. According to Jim Rohn's philosophy, that's what it takes. Section 8. The influence of your associations. Jim Rohn placed enormous importance on the people you surround yourself with. He famously stated, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This is a powerful concept when it comes to your journey towards wealth and success. Think about it. The people you associate with influence your thinking, your attitudes, your habits, and your aspirations. If you spend your time with people who are negative, unmotivated, and have a poor financial mindset, it's incredibly difficult to rise above that influence. Their energy, their conversations, and their limiting beliefs can subtly pull you down. Conversely, if you associate with people who are positive, ambitious, growth-oriented, and financially successful, or actively working towards it, their influence can be incredibly uplifting. You will learn from them, be inspired by them, and you will find your own standards and expectations rising. Rohn strongly advocated for seeking out mentors, individuals who have already achieved the success you desire. Learn from their experiences, ask for their guidance. He himself attributed much of his early success to the mentorship of Earl Schoff. It's also about consciously choosing your peer group. Look for the people who challenge you to be better, who support your goals, and who embody the qualities you wish to cultivate in yourself. Sometimes this might mean limiting your exposure to individuals who consistently drain your energy or discourage your ambitions. It's not about being unkind, but about protecting your own growth and mindset. Your associations are like an updraft or a downdraft. Choose wisely who you allow into your inner circle, because their influence will play a significant role in your ability to achieve wealth and live an exceptional life. Okay, let's go into the conclusion, the holistic path to wealth. So, how do you get rich according to Jim Rohn? As we explained and explored, it's not about a single trick or a secret. It's a holistic approach, a way of life built upon timeless principles. It starts with crafting a powerful personal philosophy and committing to a continuous personal development. It requires the discipline to practice small, positive habits daily and the clarity to set compelling goals. It demands consistent action and the wisdom to manage your finances effectively by living below your means and making your money work for you. It's about understanding the law of sowing and reaping by focusing on providing immense value and consciously choosing your associations. Getting rich in the wrong way is the natural outcome of becoming the kind of person who deserves to be rich. Someone of value, discipline, wisdom, and purpose. It's about transforming yourself from the inside out. The journey may not always be easy, but the principles are simple. Apply them consistently, patiently, and persistently, and you can indeed achieve the wealth and success you desire. As Rohn himself would often say, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. The power to create wealth lies within you, waiting to be unlocked. Thank you for watching. Now go out there and become more. If you missed anything, listen to this audio again. See you in the next one.